Hey, good morning, rock stars. Wow, it's 8 o'clock on Monday morning and we're hitting the ground running today. Today is day number one of the JumpStart Sales Challenge. And I'm Teresa Bassett, your host, CEO of the Diamond Group. And I'm so excited to be here with you. I can tell you that this is our seventh JumpStart Challenge. This started as not really having a sales focus, but really having a sales impact. And over the last couple of years, we've realized that, I've realized that, hey, a whole lot was happening in people's businesses. And so we started out by talking, to business owners of all kinds. Here at the Diamond Group, we absolutely love helping business owners with their momentum and their mojo. And so it's one of the things that, we believe in helping business owners get off the revenue roller coaster. And so that is all things sales and marketing, right? Because you need a sustainable sales and marketing system. But you, as the founder and the business owner, you really are the heart of that engine. And how you treat your energy really matters because your whole organization takes its cues from you. So, one of the things that I've seen over the years, and the Diamond Group is hitting its 30th anniversary this year, which we're super excited about. I cannot take credit for that alone. My husband, Kelly, and I run the agency here together. And he started this agency long before I knew him. God brought us together in 2012. And so I've been along for the journey ever since, by hook or by crook. And it's been a super exciting journey. Of course, in all businesses that stand the test of time, you have to pivot, you have to adapt, you have to change to a lot of the times. And of course, the internet wasn't even a thing when he started the agency back in 1995. So you, as a business owner, facing the challenges of today's AI onset and just the changing economic conditions, you're probably feeling a lot of those same pressures, right? No pressures, no diamonds. Diamonds are created under pressure as well. And I heard a great quote that a diamond is just a piece of coal that kept saying yes. And I can honestly say that Kelly and I, a lot of times we felt like that piece of coal that just kept saying yes. It's like, well, we don't know what we don't know, God. So we're just going to keep going, right? Long obedience in the same direction. And we are so excited to, be able to share this journey with our team. We have a team of just absolutely amazing professionals and that we get to share our day with. But this is not about the Diamond Group. This week is really not about us at all. It's really about you and where you're at in your business and what kind of impact and contribution and revenue boost you guys want to see in your business over the next 30, 60, 90 days. Here's the thing, there's so much possible that it's just absolutely amazing. Back a few years ago, I realized that I was really building my business in sprints, in part because I'm not a great treadmill girl, right? 24/7, 365 just isn't my jam. And I had difficulty maintaining my energy through all of those seasons. And so, the summer comes, the, Christmas holidays and the winter holidays set in, and you need different rhythms in your day. And so I recognized that I was actually building my business in these sprints. And so I ended up writing a book about that. And you can find that on Amazon. In fact, I have a copy of it here. You can look for this book, Up Level. And this book talks about the 90-day sprint methodology. Well, the Jumpstart Challenge was designed as a boost, an on-ramp, if you will, to this 90-day sprint. So officially, this is the first week of the 90-day spring sprint. And I love that for all of us. And I can honestly say this sprint is already different than any sprint I've done. It's so interesting how, right, like there's just always different cadences and things you don't anticipate. So I'm in a new space today. You can hear a little bit of ongoing traffic noise. There's the hustle and bustle of the city out there. which, reminds me that the world is a moving this morning. And I know for those of you on the West Coast, you may not be able to tune into us live here. It's awfully early for you, but the replays will be available. And so I hope that you will take an opportunity to go back through the content, even if you don't have a chance here or you're just not quite awake enough, haven't had that cup of coffee. I can honestly say I haven't had a cup of coffee yet this morning. So we're off and running. But I did meet a lot of resistance, a lot of new things, and partly because this sprint is already so much different than any other. For me, this sprint is starting out with a completely different energy, in part because I kind of feel like this year I hit the ground running in January, mid-January. Usually by this point in the spring, I'm feeling like, okay, I kind of have my goals. I'm aligned for the year and I have a lay of the land. I'm aligned with the team. And so now I can really get my ducks in a row and I can really attack the next 90 days. This year, guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like the things that are going on in the marketplace, whatever is going on internally, for us in business, I feel like I've already been at it. I don't feel like I need to start the sprint. I almost feel like this is a little bit of a restart in a way. I feel like I've been sprinting for a while, and so this is going to be really interesting for me. We do have an action-packed week ahead. So day number 1, we talk about getting into motion, which is so interesting because our very first topic is about how actually I already feel like I am in motion, but we'll talk about that. And we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about the mental game and mindset tomorrow, actually. And then we're going to talk about mojo. We're going to talk about money, and we're going to talk about momentum, because here's the thing in business, guys. You really are the heart of the energetic engine of your business. And we need to manage, help manage your energy, right? You need self-leadership first, and then that kickstart is what spills over into your organization and provides the results, creates the results you want. Because we're going to talk a lot about this tomorrow, but you attract what you are, right? Not what you want. And so if you wake up sluggish and on the wrong side of the bed, well, you're probably going to have some sluggish wrong side of the bed results. And nobody wants that. So this really is all about you, all about managing that energy and getting a great perspective, getting a frame for the next 90 days. And here's the thing about sprints. We do them in legs, right? Because each leg of the sprint has its own separate mojo. So the next 30 days is super important because you're beginning with the end in mind, right? And we're going to talk about some of the motion that we want to get into today is not just mental. It's not just, putting down some of those sales targets or goals on a piece of paper. It's also looking at your physical energy, because the physical energy is where it all starts, right? And so I have to say, just like I said, this year is just totally different than any other. Got a lot of new variables, and you probably do too. And one of the things that I've noticed is that we meet a lot of resistance right before we hit a breakthrough. I've hit this over and over this year, and I don't know if you guys feel it, but there's almost like this extra tension in the air, this extra resistance right before you break through to a new level. And sometimes it's easy to get stuck in that sluggish place or stuck in that resistance and be like, maybe I'm just not heading in the right direction. Maybe I'm just not doing the right things at all. But then a lot of times when it persists, it almost gets, for me, I've noticed, almost comical. It almost seems like things are stacked up against me. And that's when I get tipped off. Oh, wait a minute. This is the resistance that comes right before a breakthrough. So even more important for me to double down on my commitment to what I'm working to create. And this sprint is the perfect time to do that. So one of the things that I'm going to ask, about getting into motion today is, what is it exactly that you want to see happen? Right? Getting into motion, staying into motion is in part at the very front end, a decision. And the decision is, one, that you're going to show up for yourself over the next week, and that you're going to show up for yourself over the first 30-day leg, the next 30-day leg, and the following to all the way through to the 90 days. And so we're just going to be together for this first week, but there will be opportunities for content that I'll throw your way just to give you some encouragement for the path. So you guys, this week is not a big sales pitch. Yeah, I'll give you some opportunities to opt into some things if you want to work with me or my team, if you want to look at sales and marketing with someone else. But this is not a pitch week for do it for you team managed services. Yes, those are available to you. Absolutely. And I'm happy to help you with those if that's the stage your business is in. But that's not really what this is about. This is about helping you gather the resources internally first, get your mind in the right place so that we can charge forward together with the most clarity, the most confidence, and the most commitment, right? Because those three things are really going to cut through the friction that we might be facing in the external circumstances so that we can get the results and create the results that we want. And you guys, this is so exciting to me because we're just way more powerful than we even know, right? Way more powerful than we even know. And yeah, we can hit that resistance and maybe we can stay sluggish for a day, but we can't afford to stay sluggish for a week. We can't afford to stay sluggish for 30 days or for 90 days because your team, your business, your family, they're counting on you. And, one of the things that created a little bit of a distraction for me this weekend, getting ready for this week, was my daughter's birthday is today. She's turning 26. I was super happy to celebrate my daughter, Katrina, yesterday. And my whole family came into town, my parents, my sister-in-law and brother. My son came over to play cards. We're a pinochle playing family. We love to play cards. And it was just so fun to share a meal together and just be together. But of course, that family visiting time, that I love so much also creates, a little bit of a disruption, right, in your schedule, and it takes energy. And so one of the things that, it reminds me of, though, is that, family really is the heart of why I'm doing all this. Yeah, and if I can't set time aside for those most important, moments in my life, then what am I even getting into motion for in the first place? For me, family really is my why. And if I've had any fear in my life over the course of my journey, it's really that I didn't live up to my God-given potential. And my fear at the end of the day was, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that person that's sitting on their on death's door, wondering what could have been or what should have been. And so that was really important to me over the course of my life. And I knew that family, I'm a family bug. And so I want to be there for those family moments. And even more importantly, I want to create those family moments, right? I want to create a space for them. I want to plan them. That's just really a high value for me. And so I want a business that works with me. I want lift in my business constantly so that I can have those moments with my family, right? And create that. And that really is my fuel. So when I go into the 90-day sprint in the spring and one in the fall, I take some time to get into motion at the front end. And I've kept motion at the first day of this JumpStart for a reason. Because even though I am in motion, there's a different kind of motion that I need to enter into today. Well, two kinds of different motion, really. One is, even though I have been power walking in the morning, I've been doing 3 to 5 miles almost every day since the beginning of the year. And, I'm always a really active person. I'm a daily exerciser. I love to move every day. But my weight game has been off. I really haven't been doing some of the vigorous stuff that I need to be doing to strength build. And I am not training for any event. Sometimes I'm training for a half marathon or I'm preparing for something. And right now, I do not have my targets set in sight for those things. So it's one of those. It's one of those opportunities for me to kind of reset, right? Even though I've been in motion, I get to decide what do I really want at the end of this period. So I'm going to encourage myself today to do a little bit of this getting into motion on a different level. And physically, I'm going to decide what that looks like for me in terms of a physical target. So in up level, one of the things that you'll notice is I'm asking you to set 3 targets for the sprint. One of those targets is physical. One of those targets is financial. And that third target is, I call it other category, right? Because a lot of times for me, I'm working on publishing a book, or I'm working on a new sales initiative, or I'm working on a campaign, I'm working on a leadership program, or something that falls into the other category. You know, the physical target is super important because it is that thing that keeps you calibrated every day, so that you get that boost of dopamine and serotonin, the happy hormones, the things that are really important for just managing your energy internally. So I think that it's super important to look at those things and go, well, how can I anchor myself? How can I steep myself in even more daily motion? Right? Or how can I take it up a notch? So if you're a person that's, couch to 5K, maybe getting into motion is taking that kind of power walk I was talking about. And that's great. But if you're a person where, like me, where I'm already in motion taking those power walks, I need to reassess and take it to the next level. And so I highly encourage you at the front end of this sprint, day one, your first piece of homework is decide what kind of a physical target would you like to set in this next 90 days? Physical target. What does this have to do with sales? It has everything to do with sales. You guys, look, again, it's all just energy. If you want to connect and share your services or products with more people and provide more impact and contribution, then you have to know that that you are confident in what you're bringing to the marketplace, and you feel compelled to share. And you're going to feel more compelled to share if you're in a good space energetically and physically, even in your body. Right? And so I'm going to encourage you to reel it all the way back to the physical target. Right? The next thing I'm going to encourage you to do to get into motion today at the front end of this week is actually just to, one, make that commitment to yourself and make a decision. Make a decision that you lean into my belief enough that at the end of 90 days, something different can come out of this. Right? And if you lean in, you too could create more impact and contribution in your business and experience a boost to revenue as a result. You guys, sales drives the bus. Sales drives the bus, and sales is just sharing, right? Sharing and connecting with more people that need your products and services. And so it's such an exciting opportunity, because when you cast a wider net and you create that ripple effect, you have an opportunity to help even more people, to serve even more people, and positively impact a lot of things in your internal culture as well. Right? Again, if sales is up, everybody's up. And when I talk to my sales team, a lot of times, one of the things that we'll talk about is, hey guys, you're the emotional barometer of this team. So if you aren't feeling the mojo, then you got to get yourself recalibrated so you are feeling the mojo, because the team is taking its cues from you, right? And that's a massive responsibility. It's also a privilege and an honor, right? But it is, it does put the onus on us to go, oh, wait a minute, what do I need to own here, right? What do I need to recalibrate to? So huge opportunity there. I think that the other piece of that is, okay, if you're committed, what is going to be the plan, right? What's going to be the outcome that we're looking for, and what's the plan to get there? And so we're going to take the opportunity in this motion day to also look at, okay, if this is the end of the road, if we're beginning with the end in mind, then how do we need to maybe break that down into those 3 legs, those 3 chunks, so that we get there, right? I've got some pretty big goals at the end of this 90 days. Honestly, so big that they're a little overwhelming. And so one of the things that helps me is to engineer it backwards, right? But you begin first with the decision that you believe enough. And again, you can borrow from my belief, you can lean into me if you don't have that belief yourself, that you can, in fact, change things massively in 90 days. And it begins with you. It begins with you, your decision, your energy, and even reeling it all the way back to just this private conversation that we're having today. In meeting that resistance, distractions, uh, logistics, I even see in my camera, my backdrop might even, my words might even be showing up backwards this morning, but I'm not gonna stop. I want to engineer that later. I don't know how that'll show up on the other end, so you can tell me. Um, but in meeting that resistance, I decided that every single time I've done this JumpStart challenge, this JumpStart sales challenge the last couple times, something amazing and miraculous has come out of it. And I don't know who it's going to be, who that miraculous outcome is going to be for. For me, I get to experience that sometimes vicariously. It's not just about my results, because always when I'm positioning myself, at the front end of this wave for myself, and that's where this whole methodology came from, I always experience impact. And many times, sometimes the impact I'm feeling today in the business is a result of a sprint I did. Whoa, three sprints ago. Honestly, right? It was maybe a year and a half ago. Things that are showing up now in the business, which is absolutely amazing. And so really every time I do this, something amazing and miraculous comes out of it. I always see a boost to revenue. I always see a boost to other people's revenue. I've had people find their dream lot and start building their dream home at the beach. I've had people identify a new product line or service in their business and launch a whole new revenue stream, right? I've had people, take trips and embrace opportunities to see the world that they never saw coming, right? Because when you get into motion, the universe rises up. God meets us on that path, and we get new things, new people, new conversations kicked up. And we really are jump starting that energy from a very organic place of wanting something different and committing to it. And that's super powerful. So I decided this morning, I don't care what the resistance is. I don't care what the resistance is. We are going to see this week all the way to the end, and we are going to dive into mindset and the mental game tomorrow. And today we're going to get into motion. So I'm going to decide what that physical path is going to look like for me for the next 90 days. And I'm going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to kick it into gear. And tonight I'm actually going to take action on that in the area of the weights that I was talking about and strength building. So I don't know if it's going to be 9 o'clock tonight. I don't know if it's going to be 10 o'clock. It's going to be, I've got a full day in front of me, and I am totally committed to showing up for myself. And I am totally committed to showing up for you this week and for the results that you're going to see at the end of this. And so I don't really know what those are going to be. I don't really know what those are going to be. I never do, but I don't have to know, because I know it's something magical, and we can just have fun. We can just play. So, thank you so much for showing up for yourself this morning. I've seen a number of people tune in live. I've gotten some great, comments already this morning. Thank you so much. When you guys share your comments and insights, and I'm going to ask for this tomorrow, it really boosts me and gives me energy too. And so I highly encourage this to be as interactive as possible. So one of the things coming up at the end of the week, actually beginning of next week, is St. Patrick's Day. And I have the fortune of being half Irish. My maiden name is Corcoran, used to be O'Corcoran. And I have some gold coins on my desk with four-leaf clovers. And I have some St. Patrick's Day decor kind of sprinkled throughout. And I love St. Patrick's Day. in part because green is such a fortuitous color, right? The color of money, the color of growth, the color of um, uh, trees, vision, really. And so I want to encourage you to, bring into your environment this week. One of the motion pieces you can do is bring some things into your environment that boost your spirits, right? As you're getting your physical routine kicked up and you're getting your mind in the game and you're committing to the motion, right? And you're getting into motion by starting the process of planning. You guys have a lot of homework already tonight, right? You're going to craft a physical target. You're going to start thinking about what the next 90 days are going to look like. Look, can you tell already? I mean, we're only 25 minutes in. We're not pussyfooting around the tulips here. Like, we're going to get some stuff done this week and on into the next 30 days and beyond, because that's really what I'm here to do. And one of the things that I notice is that when we do it together, it's so much better. It's so much more fun. And so I want to encourage us to continue this journey together. But one of the things you can do as you're getting into motion is just bring some little reminders into your world, right? Maybe it's bring a little new plant. That's green, right? New life, a little plant child, a little plant baby to take care of. Or maybe it's $1 bill or $100 bill sitting right in front of you. I'd like to encourage you to think about that why as well, because here's the thing. If you have a strong enough why, then you're going to be able to ride out those speed bumps a whole lot easier, right? Any resistance that gets thrown up for you over the course of this week, over the course of the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, if you have a strong enough why, you're going to plow through those resistance points because you are compelled, right? And that's how I feel about my family and living out my purpose. My God-given mission on the planet to encourage leaders and their teams, to equip them, to embolden them, right? That's something that's really near and dear to my heart. And so when I hit those resistance points, I'm like, I'm going to plow through. I'm not going to get stopped by the logistics, by the distractions. I'm going to plow through because it's so important to me. It's more important to me than being comfortable. It's more important to me than, definitely more important than sitting around wondering in 90 days, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Wow, what if I had done something different? Would I have a different result? I'm just not wired that way, you guys. And my guess is that if you were led here into this conversation with me, as one-sided as it feels like from my side right now, it's not a one-sided conversation. If you were led into this conversation with me, there's a reason. And I don't believe that there's a lot of accidents. I believe that we have an opportunity with each thing that kind of presents itself. And that's the beauty, right, of choices. But I really do believe that you can make a different choice. And when you make a different choice, you can get a different result. And I really do believe that that energy begins and ends, right here, right now. Yeah, I'm famous for saying it's now o'clock. So I don't know what it is. The door of opportunity is open for you, right? The door of opportunity is open for you. On the other side of the door, there's something waiting. And typically with sales driving the bus, that means there's an opportunity to share more of what you offer as a solution to the marketplace. So who needs to know? Who needs to know about what you offer? Who needs the solution that you've stayed up at night, or you've rolled up your sleeves with your team to craft? Who needs to know about that solution, right? And what pain are they feeling by not knowing about your solution? Hey guys, look, I believe that, just like I'm here for a reason, you're here for a reason. Not just here with me, in your business for a reason. Right? You were called into your business because you felt particularly compelled to help your people. Whatever people that is, right? if you're a dentist, maybe you were called into practice because, it looked like a great profession and an opportunity to help people. And the people you serve really need what you offer. If you're in a B2B business, right? Are there business owners on the other side of your solution that could be either, experiencing something so much better or be freed up from the pain that they're feeling in their business? Maybe you have a solution that helps them with operations or finance or legal, right? If you're an immigration attorney, oh my goodness, what an opportunity, right? So many people right now need what you offer, right? And so sales is an opportunity to really get in touch with sharing on a wider level. And sometimes the sharing, can start to feel, I don't know, like you're in the convincing and persuading business. It can start to feel, stuck or stalled itself. It can start to feel like a heavy task or burden. And I know I've been there. I've felt sales stalled at different points and many points in my career, no matter what I was selling, whether it was shoes or houses or cars or marketing services or coaching. That's just part of the game. That's just part of the journey, right? But what helps me get unstuck is to realize why I'm really there in the first place, right? When I was selling houses, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm helping people connect with home. Like that is truly amazing because I know that with home, people get to create memories for their family, right? They get to welcome new children into their home. They get to be hospitable and open their doors to, strangers who are now friends in their home. They get to, create and share a life in that home. And so when I took myself out of the equation, it wasn't about me making sales, right? My agenda. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't it actually about them in the first place? Isn't it about the people that I'm here to serve and help? Yeah, it is. And for me, that is business owners on the other end of this. And some of the ways that I get to help is just by sharing this time with you, right? This is free. This doesn't cost you anything other than the commitment of the time to show up for yourself, right? And the reason I do that is because honestly, I've said this in every single JumpStart challenge. It's part of my way to give back, you guys. I mean, I have read so many books. I've been to so many seminars, webinars, podcasts. So many people have fed encouragement into me. So many people. And I feel so blessed and grateful for that. I feel so blessed and grateful for that. And I've recognized over the years that not everybody's voice is designed for everybody's ears. It's kind of like there's a perfect person out there, for everyone, or there's a perfect, I don't know, just, there's so much variety in the world and for a reason, because we're not all wired the same. And so, I love Tony Robbins, for example. I mean, he's one of my gurus, one of my mentors, and I learned so much from Tony Robbins. But I talk to people where, maybe his voice just doesn't hit the nerve exactly the same, right? And so maybe there's a place where in your heart or mind or spirit around this area where my voice is just going to hit a nerve, or maybe it's just the day, the season that you're in, or the business that you're in, or whatever circumstances have led us here together. I don't know what it is, but I feel compelled to encourage with whatever tools I have, in part because I'm profoundly grateful for the people who have breathed their inspiration and encouragement into me. And here's the thing, every single person that did that, they didn't know who was going to receive it. They didn't know who was going to show up and read the book or go to the event or listen to the podcast or go to the webinar, and they didn't know what they were going to do with it. And so some of that impact is just, it's out of our hands, right? It's out of their hands. They don't know that in part I'm here because of them. Wow. And so, I do feel encouraged by the results people have shared with me over the years. And here it is. It's our 7th JumpStart season. And I want you guys to treat this as the real challenge that it is. Challenge yourself to show up. Challenge yourself to watch the replays or show up live. Challenge yourself to go all the way from motion into mindset and mental game day tomorrow, to mojo, to money, to momentum. Challenge yourself to go all the way from motion to momentum, all the way through this week with me, so that you can set yourself up for success this spring. And maybe the wave that you start this spring will continue through the summer into the fall. We'll pick up that momentum again in the fall. We'll do another challenge in the fall because we're going to keep the wave going, right? Because you are the heart of that energy. And I'm so excited that you're picking up the mantle of leadership to own that awesome right and responsibility. And I can't wait for you to share your story with me, right? Because that's going to encourage me on the journey. And so it's a mutual encouragement society. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. And it doesn't have to get any more complicated than that. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. We get to wake up today and we get to say, yeah, it's 9:00. I'm restarting. I'm jumpstarting. I'm challenging myself to restart, reboot today. And we don't have to make it any more complicated than that. So thank you so much for being here. Do check out my book, Up Level, on Amazon. I will be giving away a couple copies through the week for people who do their homework. And I've got some other good gifts and prizes because I do believe in rewarding great action. And I do hope that you'll share with others in this group any of the takeaways or any of the encouragement that you receive this week. So here's the thing. There's a 90-day primer, sprint primer, that you can get access to. And there's also the calendar. So if you can't keep track of those days that I shared with you, there's some tools there for you to access. But I'm excited to see what you create. I'm excited to see what getting into motion today, resetting your physical energy. I'm excited to see what I create. It's like, I don't know. Well, it's a mystery, honestly. And I'm curious to see, what does the lucky clover bring to us this week? I'm so excited to see what God has in store. And I know that it's only going to be good. It's only going to be good. And I know that from experience. I also know that because I'm co-creating that reality with you. I'm deciding what the future is going to look like with you. And the best way to predict the future is to create it, right? And so that's what we're going to do here today. And any resistance we get, whether it be logistics, sound, camera, time, family, distractions, sickness, I don't know what the universe is going to throw my way this week. But I know that I'm equipped with God's grace to handle anything that comes my way. And I know that you are too. And so I want to challenge you to stay on this jumpstart journey with me, and let's create the wave together, guys. Let's ride it all the way to the finish line. I will see you tomorrow. I can't wait to hear about you getting into motion, planning your success, beginning with the end in mind. And tomorrow, with that mental game and mindset day, we're going to start talking about crafting the physical target, the financial target, rather, the sales target. Because how you set up your goals is super important, how you set your targets. And I want to frame that. I want you to make a promise to yourself, right? A promise to yourself. I want that goal, that target, to be so compelling and have such a good why attached to it that there isn't a single point, a speed bump or a wall kicking moment that could stop you from charging forward. Because here's the thing. I know that something even better is waiting for you on the path than you could have imagined. I don't know what it is. And here's the thing, you don't know what it is either. And so you have to suspend your disbelief long enough to get into motion, stay in motion, so that you can see what unfolds in front of your very own eyes, right? That is so important. So We'll talk about crafting the sales target and the goals and the financials, but I want to start with the physical. I want to start with the planning. I want to start with that decision because that really is where you need to come back to if you have to restart. If you have to restart, this is the place that you have to come back to. One, with the belief that it's possible and your commitment to it. And then two, to getting your body in motion and starting to plan, right? Because once you do that, look, you guys, you can restart 100 times in a week, right? What matters is that you're doing it. And, feedback comes in a lot of different forms. And sometimes it looks like what we would call failure. But what you really learned is the way it doesn't work. And so we want to pay attention to the energy, but we're going to start with our own energy and our commitment today to embracing the now clock. That's right in front of us. So, wow. Well, that is a lot to talk about at 8:40 in the morning. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee, believe it or not. I hope you get a cup of coffee and or continue your cup of coffee. And I'm really looking forward to diving into mindset and the mental game tomorrow. I don't know. I just know. Actually, I just know that I know that I know that something really cool is in store for you. And I know that when you set yourself up for success and you begin with the end in mind, amazing things happen. And so I'm excited to be on the journey with you today. And yeah, let's go get a cup of coffee and start the day with a bang. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys, for day one. The replay will be sent out. It will be available here as well throughout the week. And so if you can't join us live, that's okay. And if you know another business owner or someone entrepreneurial, someone who's maybe starting a project, maybe who's in the middle of a 20-year or 30-year journey like myself, it's never too early and it's never too late. It's now o'clock. It's today. And so feel free to share the resources. You don't really know what's going to resonate with someone or what they need. And most people throughout the course of a day don't get huge doses of encouragement. And so maybe you can be that encouragement for someone else on their journey. I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is. I just know that I felt really called to be here with you today. And I feel really special. I feel like it's really special, this opportunity to be together. So thank you so much. Do your homework, get in motion, and I'll see you tomorrow.